In this problem, we're asked to factor completely the polynomial 4x squared minus 15x plus 9. First thing with any factoring problem, is there a GCF? No, they have no numbers in common and they don't all have an x. So there's no GCF. Excuse me. So we're going to factor this using the AC method, comparing it to this. So we're going to have to find the value of A, B, and C. So in our case, A is the coefficient of the x squared term, it's 4. B is the coefficient of the x term, negative 15. And C is the constant, so that's 9. So we're going to multiply A times C. We get 4 times 9 is 36. So we are looking for two numbers that multiply to 36 and add to B, which is negative 15. Notice they multiply to a positive, that says the signs are the same. They add to a negative, both signs have to be negative. So I'm going to do it systematically, negative 1 and negative 36, multiply to positive 36, negative 1 plus a negative 36 adds to negative 37, not the number I'm looking for. Does 2 go into 36? Yes, 18 times. So negative 2 times negative 18 is positive 36. Negative 2 plus a negative 18 is negative 20. Getting closer, but not there yet. Does 3 go into 36? Yes, 12 times. So negative 3 times negative 12 is positive 36. Negative 3 plus a negative 12 is negative 15. Is that the number I'm looking for? Yes. So here are the two numbers I want. They're not the factors. They're what I'm going to split my middle term down into. So I'm going to rewrite the expression as 4x squared. And instead of negative 15x, I'm going to write negative 3x minus 12x plus 9. I think you can see that the negative 3x and the negative 12x add up to my middle term of negative 15x. So 4 terms now. How do you factor 4 terms? You group them. What did the first two have in common? No numbers, but definitely an x. So I pull an x out and it's going to leave me with 4x minus 3. Now bring down the middle sign, minus. And now what do the last two terms have in common? They don't have an x in common, but I think I can pull a 3 out of both terms. Now be careful, when you pull a negative out of these two terms, it means the two terms in this parentheses are going to have opposite signs to what they had up here. So pull a negative 3 out of a negative 12x, it's going to leave me with 4x. Pull a negative 3 out of a positive 9, it leaves a negative 3 behind. You can think about it like 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3. Now quickly check you've got your signs correct. Negative 3 times 4x would give me my negative 12x. Negative 3 times negative 3 would give me my plus 9. Okay, so now when we use factoring by grouping, only works if this binomial is identical to this binomial. Is that true in this case? Yes. So that's my common binomial factor that I can pull in front. And when I pull that in front, what does it leave behind? X minus 3. So I factored my polynomial. Here is the answer. One thing I wanted to review at the end of this one, a lot of students ask me, what happens if I'd written my middle terms instead of negative 3x minus 12x, if I'd have written them the other way round? And what I mean by that is at this step here, if I'd have written 4x squared minus 12x minus 3x plus 9. Would it have given me a different answer? No. And I'm just going to write this out. I'll put it on pause for a minute. So here I've written that step. Instead of writing negative 3x minus 12x, I wrote minus 12x minus 3x. And that meant when I factored the first two terms here, I factored out a 4x, and it would leave me with x minus 3. I then would bring down the middle sign, negative. I'd factor a 3 out of the last two terms, and it would have given me x minus 3. So x minus 3 would have been my common binomial factor, and what would it have left? 4x minus 3. Does that answer match this answer? Yes. It doesn't matter which order I write the two binomials. Since it's multiplication, I can write them in either order. So it doesn't matter which way you write those middle terms here, you will still get the same answer.